is, and I've been trying to figure the grateful part of it. But the miserable parts, I've learned to love too myself. I grew up as a farmer, and it was drink since day one. Work hard and drink, work hard, drink, and then it turned to hard drugs. By the time I turned 15, I quit school to be a carpenter. I never realized that this story becomes the story of what Jesus explains in his life. Man, I was a pagan my whole life. I worshiped the earth. I worshiped the growth of plants of things, But I never realized that story was only just a part of it. And I fought against to be a Christian because I seen two sides of it. But I've realized that even within myself, there's two sides. I have to look in the mirror and see what side of the mirror I'm standing on. And I truly see that supporting and pro-life is truly the answer. But at the same time, it's in self-control with the fruit of the spirits. I've been to prison 3 times. This time I had to do my time first. They were not letting me go to Teen Challenge. I was accepted to Teen Challenge 6 years ago, but they were not letting me go. So I did my whole 5 years. I walked out of, I went to PFA, which is IFI, Prison Fellowship Academy. I couldn't have a TV the whole time. So the whole time I went through 5 years with no TV and just stayed in the Bible, and COVID hit. I sat two years in my cell, 23-1, reading the Bible only. I read it 7 times throughout that whole time, and I've read it 1 time here, so I've read it 8 times so far in 6 years. Man, and how much I've studied it, I do not know how many times to put it all together, how many times I've read it. But it's because my heart is so much into this now that it is greater than anything I can physically touch. I've argued through so many treatments that 2 + 2, and they're trying to teach me 6, and I said it'll always be 4. You can't change the tire. I can turn on Christian music and pray all I want, that tire will not change. But I have realized that God does miracles and will make blessings of me. And through this whole thing, I've learned to, growing up, cops were my enemy, and learning to love Tyler and learning his story of his life, to learn to accept, open my heart, that everyone has a story, to learn everyone in the breath of life of God that puts into each and every one of us. And early in the start, 5 years ago in the Bible, I learned something that was really, and I've carried it ever since. Every breath I take, I'm saying Jesus. It's Yahweh, and it gets to be Yahweh in the whole breath. And I'm saying it constantly. But it's gotten me to learn that in life, each and every one of these brothers, some of them I don't like at times, and sometimes I do, but I know I've learned from my past to love him because of what Jesus did. My PTSDs that I have, I've learned to be able to control them and take all my contracts and do the work I need to do to change it. It was the hardest time I did was this year, out of that 5 years in prison even. Coming out of shackles into that door this year has been so tough. But at the same time, I did it to change because I do not want to go back to prison. I got 6 grandkids. I'm 52 years old at the end of this month, and I do not want to do another treatment, and I do not want to go through this program again. It was so tough, man. And I may have another relapse in me, which is a non-negotiable, but I do not have another recovery. I do not want to do this. And it was so great to go through this way I did that I had to slow down in prison and then come to here because I was so wound up on fighting the world. And it gets to be, this is my last time with these brothers, and I love each and every one of them. And right now, I get angry at some of them, but I know, looking back, I will love each and every one of these guys, and I will remember each and every one of you. Me and Damien are the oldest ones here. Man, we've been through some stuff this year. And turning to that Bible really takes us away from all these struggles. And that's all I got. I carry it in my pocket constantly, nonstop, and that's why I do, guys. It's because it is the only thing that takes me away from this realm of this world. To get into that spiritual realm of Jesus Christ dying on that cross for our love, for all and each and every one of us, even the ones that crucified him and gambled his clothes away, and judged him wrongly, tortured him wrongly. I mean, that death that he did with them 3 nails and the 5 wounds he had are something so amazingly greater than anything I've ever seen in my life. Just not fighting and raising a brow upon that, I cannot understand that, but I hope to find it someday. And I am more free in my life than I am today than I ever have been. And with that, I say, Jesus!